Hello, hi, welcome to the EduTech Expert channel. So here we are looking to various definitions of IoT communication channels and what is the main goal of this IoT. So here for IoT various definitions, several definitions are there, but the meaning is same. So simply we can say Internet of Things are nothing but the things are connected to the internet, so by that they can get the capability of transferring or communication or exchanging of data between the things. So this is the simple definition for understanding purpose I am saying, but we look into several definitions given by several authors. So in that, so these are the contents, various definitions we can see here, and what is the main goal of this IoT and communication channels, and lastly we can see so what is actually the thing in IoT. So these are the various definitions. So here I can list out. So we can see first definition. So IoT, Internet of Things, is one of the technology. So in this technology, we can connect the devices to the internet. So those devices are having sensors, electronics, and software to perform the desired actions of the user. And with the help of these sensors, electronics, and softwares, these devices can have the capability of collecting and exchanging data from either environments or users with little or no human interaction. They will also perform the actions. This is the first definition. And look into the second definition. IoT is one of the network. So in the network, we have connected objects or the things, and they are identified uniquely by using IP addresses. And in this network, we can connect these objects and we can communicate the data between these objects, and also they can able to transferring of data. So all these connect, communicate, and transferring of data is done via internet. Now come to the third definition. So IoT is one of the scenario so where the connected physical object deals with the digital data. So this is possible by connecting of the internet. And the next thing is, next definition is IoT acts as a wireless network connectivity medium. So to connect the devices in the network, so we may have wired or wireless standards. So this IoT acts as a wireless network connectivity standard for connecting various devices, like the mobile is communicate with the smart fridge, and the smart fridge connect with the um, uh, big basket website, and from that it will order the items which are less in the fridge. So like that various devices like mobile, fridge, and ordering of items in particular website, so all these can done wirelessly. So that's why IoT acts as a wireless network connectivity medium between the things or objects which have unique identities. So with the unique identities only these things are we are identified in the network. This is the definition 4. And here we see the definition 5. So the devices or objects or things all are same only. So these devices connect with each other in the network, and they can perform the services like collecting of information and visualizing of those that information, and smart control of the tasks, and remote controlling of one object with the other object. So all these are comes under. So these services performed by the objects, we can call it as a IoT. Next definition is, so this definition according to Adrian McVan and Hakim Kasmeli. So these two authors define the IoT like this. So the physical objects containing the controller, sensors and actuators. So by these electronic devices, they can collect the data and produce the output and controlling themselves. And these devices are connect with the internet to perform all these gatherings and producing outputs and controlling themselves done by the internet. So this is the definition given by these two authors for IoT. Next definition is according to general framework for IoT. So it given the definition for IoT like this. So gather, enrich, stream, manage plus acquire plus organize and analyze is called as a IoT. So here gathering means gather the data from various sensors from the weather or the users, and that gathered data we can perform the enrich. So enrich is nothing but to enhance the quality of the work by gathering the inputs from the various sensors. After that, we can perform the streaming. That means exchanging these data with other devices. Transferring is nothing but streaming. So while performing all these things, we can manage several devices and manage the communication. By that, we acquire the knowledge. That means we become the things smarter by organizing and analyzing. We can take the actions according to that. So this we can call it as a IoT. So these are all the various definitions for IoT. So here we can see objective or main goal of IoT. So the main goal of IoT is to configure, control, monitor and network the devices or the things through the internet. So the setup and controlling of all the devices and the tasks and monitoring capability. So each thing is monitor the other thing, and according to that they can perform some particular task. And networking, that means all the devices are communicate with the network. So for connection purpose we use this network. So to configure, control, monitor and the networking of the devices or the things through the internet and which are not associated with the internet. So those are all not traditional devices like mobile phones, laptops, computers. So these are all connected with the internet. But here the IoT goal is those not connected with the internet. So they are capable of connecting with internet and do the tasks for the users. So to make that possible, so IoT will came. So that means we make the things smarter. So this is the main goal of IoT. And the communication between the objects via internet is possible through the communication channels. So without communication channels, these objects in the network cannot communicate with each other. So here described some of the communication channels like Wi-Fi, wireless fidelity, and Bluetooth technology, Zigbee, NFC, and Z-Wave. So these are all the communication channels we used for the object communication. Next, come to the things in IoT. So these things are the most important components in the IoT network or IoT system. So thing is nothing but, so generally we can say thing is a real world entity. So real world entity is nothing but, so it may be living or non-living. So by attaching the sensors to these living or non-living things, we can collect the data consistently by connecting with the internet. So very importantly, these devices has its own unique ID, unique address. So that can be give in the form of IP addresses. So this unique ID is plays a main role for identification and communication in the large network. In olden days, the internet connectivity is possible for the things like smartphones, tablets, and computers. We know this one, but in today's, with the came up of this IoT technology, we can connect the internet with the things not associated with the connectivity of the internet. But with the help of IoT, it is possible to connect the anything with the internet and performing the data exchange among them. So one question is arrived that is it possible to assign unique IDs to all these devices throughout the world? So we know the goal of IoT by 2020 is that to connect to 50 billion devices. So how this is possible to give the IP addresses or to all these 50 billion devices and more even. So how this possible means because of the IP protocol, that is IPv6. So this have the address space of 2 power 128 bit length. So by this it is possible to give 2 power 128 unique addresses to the devices. So from all these devices, so much data will be produced. So this collected data we can store in the cloud, and then we can perform the analysis by organizing the data to get the desired solutions for the environment sake or user sake. Thank you very much for seeing this. So please subscribe the channel